Let's talk about a feeling that I think almost everyone knows. It's that feeling of having these huge, brilliant plans, but then somehow having absolutely zero energy to actually get started. It's this frustrating paradox, right? You feel both lazy and ambitious at the same time. So what is really going on in our heads? Let's dive in. I mean, seriously, does this sound familiar? You spend the morning mapping out the perfect workout, or you're outlining the first chapter of your novel, maybe designing a whole business plan, and by the time you're done, you feel completely drained, like you've already run a marathon. And the next logical step isn't action, it's the couch. Yeah, that feeling? It's a thing. We're calling it ambitious but stuck. It's that place where you have these incredible goals, but the bridge from where you are right now to just taking that first tiny step, it feels impossibly long. And this right here is the disconnect we all know way too well. On one side, you've got your best intentions. Write that book, launch that startup, finally learn guitar. But then there's your reality, and it's often endless scrolling, binge watching another series, or just feeling profoundly, deep in your bones, tired. The gap between the two can feel absolutely massive. This quote just nails it. You imagine big futures but struggle to move in the present. That future you're picturing, it's so vivid and exciting. But the present, the here and now, is just weighed down by this strange, heavy inertia. It's like you're living in the future tense, but you're completely stuck in present tense paralysis. So, where does this disconnect even come from? I think our first instinct is to blame ourselves. We think, I just lack discipline, or I'm just not motivated enough. We frame it as some kind of personal failing, a lack of willpower. But what if that's not the real story at all? Well, it turns out the answer has a lot less to do with our character and much, much more to do with your brain's hidden workload. The reason you feel so tired isn't a flaw. It's actually a surprising feature of our own biology. Okay, to understand this, we need to talk about something called cognitive energy. And listen, this isn't some abstract, fluffy concept. It is real, measurable, metabolic fuel. We're talking glucose and oxygen that your brain literally burns through every single time you think, plan, or make a decision. It's a finite resource, just like the gas in your car. Now, take a look at this number, 20%. What could that possibly represent? Well, it is the key to understanding everything we are talking about today. So here's what that 20% means. Your brain, it only makes up about 2% of your body's weight, but it consumes a staggering 20% of your body's total energy. It is an incredibly hungry organ. Thinking isn't free. It has a very real metabolic cost. And this is the bottom line. Mental work is real work, full stop. Your brain doesn't really distinguish between the energy it spends solving a complex problem and the energy your body needs for a physical workout. To your body's energy budget, intense thinking is a genuine workout. And that brings us right to the high cost of overthinking. This is where we connect all the dots between your brain's crazy energy use and that feeling of being too tired to even get off the couch. This right here is the exact path to what psychologists call action paralysis. It all starts with a grand idea. Then you get into meticulous planning, visualizing every detail. From there, you start simulating every possible outcome, worrying about what could go wrong. Each one of these steps is burning through that finite cognitive energy, which leads to decision fatigue. And by the end, your mental fuel tank is basically on empty, and the result is physical inertia. Your brain did all the work, so your body feels like it's already done. Just let that sink in for a second. All that planning, all that strategizing and worrying you did, that was the work. You felt exhausted afterward because you were exhausted. You basically spent your entire energy budget for the day before you even took the first physical step. So, what do we do about this? The solution isn't to just try harder or be more disciplined. It's about fundamentally reframing how you think about and manage your daily energy. It really all comes down to a new mindset. First, start thinking of mental work as an actual expense, not some free preview. Second, recognize that intense planning will make you physically tired. And maybe most importantly, understand that rest is not laziness, it's the non-negotiable process of refueling your brain. Ultimately, your biggest ambitions need a mental energy budget, just as much as a financial one. You have to decide where you're gonna spend that first best hour of focus. So the real shift here isn't about willpower at all. It's about becoming a conscious manager of your most valuable resource, your mental energy.
It's time to stop beating yourself up for a supposed lack of motivation and start paying really close attention to what drains you and what actually replenishes you.
And I want to leave you with this one final thought. We're all out here chasing these huge, incredible goals, right? But what if the most important project you could ever take on, the one project that enables all the others, is to first become an expert at resting, at refueling, and at managing the powerful, energy-hungry engine inside your head? What might become possible then?